Hello, dear students. Today we are going to discuss about EBIT EPS analysis part 3 with one more example for understanding purpose. So let's see the example. Good Shape Company has currently an ordinary share capital of rupees 25 lakhs consisting of 25,000 shares of 100 each. So currently has an ordinary share capital. Ordinary share capital is nothing but equity share capital. So its Good Shape Company's balance sheet, existing balance sheet shows 25 lakhs equity shares, and that if we divide it for individual, we'll get, if we divide the 25 lakhs per share, then we will get 25,000 shares. So each costing 100 rupees. So 25 lakhs is the equity share capital of existing capital structure of Good Shape Company. The management of Good Shape Company is planning another 20 lakhs to finance a major program of expansion through through four possible financial plans. So, Good Shape Company wants to go for an expansion plan through a major program, and for that program, it needs 20 lakhs rupees. And the financial manager of Good Shape Company wants to evaluate the earning per share on the four possible financial plans. On the four financial plans means the impact on earning per share by using one of the financial structure. He want to find out which financial plan gives maximum earning per share. So he wants to evaluate this earning per share under all the four possible financial plans, and after that he will take the decision. Let's see the options. So what are the options the financial manager of Good Shape Company considers? So first one is entirely through ordinary shares. So first option, he wants to see if he goes for entirely through ordinary shares. If we finance 20 lakhs rupees, then how the earning per share will be impacted. So second one is rupees 10 lakhs through ordinary shares and rupees 10 lakhs through long term borrowings at 8% interest per annum. So under second options, he wants to finance the major program through 10 lakhs equity and 10 lakhs debt, and that debt cost 8% interest per annum. And third option he wants to consider is 5 lakhs through equity. Ordinary shares is nothing but equity. 5 lakhs through ordinary shares, and 15 lakhs through long term debt, and that debt cost 9% interest per annum. And fourth plan he considers rupees 10 lakhs through ordinary shares and 10 lakhs through preference shares with 5% dividend. So he wants to evaluate all the four financial plans, and these capital structure is nothing but in order to raise finance. So what are the long term sources are available, and those long term sources, how much proportion we need to take in order to minimize cost and maximize wealth of the organization. That is nothing but capital structure. Here it is nothing but, so which combination of long term source is beneficial to the company, that has been evaluated under these four options. So first in this context, the company's expected earnings before interest and tax will be 8 lakh. So if a company finances rupees 20 lakhs for major program, then the company's expected earnings will be rupees 8 lakh before interest and tax, and company comes under 50% tax bracket. So provided with all this information, now we need to determine earning per share in each alternative. In each alternative means in each financial plans or options given in the problem, and we need to comment on the implications of a financial leverage. So which is beneficial for the company, and why, reasons we need to list out. So here solution. In the solutions, we are going to evaluate the impact of capital structure on earning per share under four financial plans. So we are going to solve the problem in tabular form by mentioning each alternative uh, under options. So first, uh, particulars. First column will be particulars, and second column will be option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. Option 1 is own purely ordinary shares. The 20 lakhs the additional fund of 20 lakhs is financed through purely ordinary shares. And second options, 20 lakhs is financed through 10 lakhs ordinary and 10 lakhs debentures at 8%. And debentures at 8% means this 8% is nothing but interest we are providing on using rupees 10 lakhs. And option 3, we are using 5 lakhs ordinary shares and 15 lakhs long term borrowings, and 9% interest we are paying for using 15 lakhs for borrowing 15 lakhs. And option 3, 10 lakhs ordinary shares and 10 lakhs preference shares, 5% preference shares. 5% is nothing but dividend that we are paying on preference shares on 10 lakhs. So first we need to take the earnings before interest and tax. So out of earning before, by using this rupees 20 lakhs, we are getting expected earnings, that is 8 lakhs. So under each alternative, we are going to evaluate this EBIT and EPS analysis. And under each capital structure, how this EBIT will impact how this capital structure will impact on earning per share, that we are going to analyze here. So earning before interest and tax in each alternative we need to take first. Out of that earnings, first we need to pay interest. So out of the earnings of the company, first debt obligations are met first. So because of that reason, we are deducting interest out of EBIT. If option does not have uh, debt obligations, then there is no need to pay interest. Only interest is paid on debt obligations, borrowed fund. So that we need to see in option whether there is a borrowed fund or not. If borrowed fund is not there, then we should not deduct. There is no question of interest. So here in first option, only ordinary shares is there, so interest part is 0. Second, in option second, 10 lakhs ordinary shares and 10 lakhs debentures at 8%. So here 50% we are financing through equity, and 50% we are financing through debentures, that is at 8% interest. So interest part comes for only 10 lakhs because 10 lakhs is the borrowed amount. So on 10 lakhs 8% interest, it comes to 80,000. Under option 3, the capital structure is like 5 lakhs ordinary shares and 15 lakhs long term borrowings. So if we finance the additional 20 lakhs under the third option, the borrowed amount is 15 lakhs at 9% interest. It comes to 1 lakh 35,000. So interest amount comes to 1 lakh 35,000. And under option 4, it is a combination of 10 lakh ordinary shares and 10 lakh preference shares. So here also we didn't borrow any long term funds, so there is no question of interest arising under fourth option also. So after deducting interest from the earnings before interest and tax, we will be getting the earning before tax. So interest component is already deducted, so remaining part will be tax. After deducting interest, we need to provide for tax. So you can say EBT or PBT. EBT means earning before tax, PBT means profit before tax. So profit before tax comes to 8 lakh under option 1, because here here this option 1 does not consisted any borrowed debt, so interest is not provided. So EBT will be remains the same. And option 2, as there is a debt component, uh, so after providing for interest, the EBT portion comes to 7 lakh 20,000. And in option 3 also, after providing for interest on 15 lakhs borrowed funds at 9% interest rate, EBT comes to 6 lakh 65,000. And fourth option, as there is no debt component, so no interest is deducted, so the EBT will be the same as EBIT. So after providing for interest and from the EBT, we need to we need to deduct tax. So second, after providing for debt obligations, the second part will be the tax. So we need to deduct tax. So here option 1, for under option 1, after providing for 50% tax, uh, so EAT means earnings after tax, after providing for, or you can say PAT also, profit after tax also you can say. So under option first, 50% tax comes around 4 lakh, and option 2, 50% of tax comes around 3 lakh 60,000 on 7 lakh 20,000. And under option 3, 50% tax on 6 lakh 65,000 comes around 3 lakh 32,500. And under option 4th, on 8 lakh 50% of tax comes to 4 lakh. So in EAT, after providing tax from the earnings, we need to see in the capital structure, in the financial plans, whether there is a preference share or not, we need to see. In option first, if in option first, that is there is no preference shares, as the option first is financed entirely through ordinary shares. So here preference dividend is nil, and second option also preference dividend is nil, and the third option also preference dividend is nil, because combination of long-term sources used under option 2 and option 3 is equity and debt. Under fourth option, the combination here is equity and preference shares. So preference shares, 5% preference shares on 10 lakh, the dividend amount comes to 50,000, that we need to deduct from EAT, earnings after tax. So after deducting whatever amount of profit remains, that is nothing but profit available to equity shareholders or earnings available to equity shareholders. So once we get the earnings available to equity shareholders, next we need to find out the number of existing equity shares under the company. So number of existing equity shares, earlier we told, uh, so here it is said that company already has an equity share capital of 25 lakhs consisting of 25,000 shares of 100 each. So existing company already has 25,000 shares, equity shares, and again it is considering another 4 options under which it wants to raise 20 lakhs. So if it goes for equity shares, so we need to find the combination, the proportion of equity shares used in 4 alternatives or 4 options, and that we need to also consider, because the number of equity shares will increase based on the proportion of equity shares in the 4 options. So under first option, the entire 20 lakhs is raised through equity shares. So 20 lakhs of rupees 100, 20,000 shares of 100 each it will come. One share costing rupees 100 each means 20 lakh divided by 100, it comes around 20,000. So 25 plus 20 existing 25,000 and newly equity shares 20,000, it comes around 45,000. Under financial plan, the proportion of equity shares is only 10 lakhs of each costing 100 rupees means it comes around 10,000 shares. So old existing equity shares is 25,000 and new equity shares under option 2 will be 10,000. So 25,000 plus 10,000, it comes around 35,000. So number of equity shares, if we adopt option 2, then the number of equity shares will be 35,000. In option 3, if we go for option 3, then the number of existing equity shares will come around 30,000. 25,000 already existed equity shares plus 5 lakhs ordinary shares of 100 each means 5,000 shares. So 25,000 plus 5,000 here means it comes to 30,000. And under option 4th, financial plan, so 10 lakhs is the proportion of equity shares. So for each costing 100 rupees means uh, 10 lakh divided by 100, it comes around 10,000. So 25,000 existing equity shares, number of equity shares, and 10,000 under option 4. So total it comes around again 30 comes around 35,000 number of equity shares. So if for EPS, earning per share, if we divide earnings available to equity shareholders by number of existing equity shares, that is A divided by B, it comes around 9. Under option 1, 9 per share, option 2, 10.29 per share, and option 3, 11.08 per share, and option 4, it comes around 10 per share. So you can see, though because of the debt component, higher debt component in the financial plan, uh, option 3 gives maximum earning per share, that is 11.08. So this is the financial plan which gives maximum earning, highest earning per share. So the financial manager recommends option 3 because it gives maximum or highest earning per share. The implications of this recommendation, the implications of financial leverage for these recommendations are as follows. Interest on long-term borrowings is fixed and also allowed for tax deduction. That too, after deducting um, interest on long-term borrowings is allowed for tax deduction. So that is one of the advantage, and because of this reason cost of debt is a cheaper source of financing, we can say. And second one is because of this reason, because interest is allowed for tax, interest is allowed for deduction, uh, and it is deducted before tax. Because of this reason the earning per share will become more, and because of this reason the equity shareholders get higher proportion of dividend, and this is a good sign for the company to encourage shareholders to invest more. And minimum third one is since borrowers are not owners, if we go through maximum portion of uh, financing option as borrowed funds, then the number of equity shares equity shareholders will be the minimum, and they can retain more control because the borrowers are not the owners, and they don't interfere in the management affairs of the company. So these financial implications it it is it can have, and which is beneficial for the company. Thank you.